Have you ever opened your eyes in the morning and felt something was wrong before you even sat up in bed? Maybe the world looked slightly dimmer. Maybe the edges of things were a little fuzzy. Maybe the numbers on your phone, the words on a label, or the faces around you didn't come into focus the way they used to. It happens quickly, silently, and without warning. One day your eyes are fine. The next day you are blinking harder, rubbing more, and quietly asking yourself a question most people over 60 are too afraid to say out loud. Am I slowly losing my vision? If you've ever had that moment, you are far from alone. In fact, earlier this year, a major health news report showed that more than 1/3 of adults over 60 experience sudden increases in morning blur, nighttime glare, and trouble reading small text. The shocking part is that most of them assume it's just age. They assume it's normal. They assume it's irreversible. But what if it's not? What if your blurry vision isn't simply age? What if something else is happening inside your eyes every night while you sleep? And what if there is a simple, natural, scientifically supported way to help your eyes repair themselves while you're resting? Tonight, I'm sharing something that has left millions of people stunned. Something that medical journalists have only recently begun to report. Something that was hidden in plain sight because the eye care industry focuses more on treating symptoms than addressing root causes. I'm talking about a fruit, yes, a simple fruit, that contains a rare compound proven to support nighttime retinal repair, reduce glycation damage, and even slow the early clouding that leads to cataracts. And here's the most unbelievable part. Most people throw away the most powerful part of this fruit. Most people eat it wrong. And most people have absolutely no idea why eating it before bed matters far more than eating it during the day. But before we get to the fruit, before I reveal what it is and how to use it, I need to take you back to a story that recently made national news. A story that sent chills through millions of viewers because they saw their own fears reflected in one woman's experience. Her name is Linda. She is 72 years old. And her story begins in the most ordinary place, her bathroom mirror. One morning she woke up, walked into the bathroom, looked into the mirror, and realized she couldn't see the reflection of her own eyes clearly. The details were soft, the edges were blurred. She thought maybe she was just tired, so she splashed water on her face. But nothing changed. She tried putting on her glasses, then a stronger pair, then adjusting the lighting. But the problem wasn't the mirror. It was her. When she told her doctor, he told her what millions of older adults are told. It's age. It's normal. It's part of getting older. You just have to live with it. But Linda didn't accept that. Because deep down, she knew something was wrong. Not just wrong, urgent. She went home and started researching. She spent days reading studies, digging through reports, watching interviews with eye specialists. And that's where she found something shocking. Something that almost no one had told her. Something that completely reframed the way she looked at her own vision. She discovered that most of the damage to the eyes of older adults doesn't happen during the day. It happens at night. There are 2 reasons for this. First, as you age, the tiny blood vessels that carry oxygen to your eyes become less efficient. Second, during sleep, your retina enters its repair cycle, the time it's supposed to restore clarity and fix cell damage. But here's the problem. Without enough oxygen, without enough antioxidants, and without the right nutrients, your eyes can't repair themselves. Instead, the opposite happens. Cells degrade, oxidative stress increases, inflammation builds, and overnight, your vision becomes slightly worse. Not dramatically worse, just enough to make you wake up thinking, "My eyes feel tired today," or "Why does everything look a little fuzzy?" Or, "Why are headlights so blinding now?" This slow decline, this nighttime decline, is what sneaks up on people. It's what causes the fear. It's what makes older adults feel like they're losing control of their independence. And that's where the fruit comes in. Because buried in the middle of medical journals, hidden inside nutrition reports, and mentioned quietly by researchers who study retinal aging, there is one fruit that stands out. One fruit that contains rare enzymes and antioxidants specifically used by the retina during its night repair cycle. One fruit shown to reduce the sticky glycation molecules that cloud the lens. One fruit that supports tear production. reduces morning dryness, improves contrast sensitivity, and helps keep photoreceptor cells healthy. The fruit is papaya, not chilled papaya, not papaya mixed with dairy, not unripe papaya, ripe room temperature papaya. Now I know what you may be thinking. Why papaya? Why before bed? Why not some fancy supplement or expensive eye formula? To understand why papaya is so powerful, we need to talk about glycation. This is the silent villain behind blurry vision for millions of people over 60. Glycation happens when sugar molecules bind to proteins in your eyes. When this happens, they form sticky compounds called AGEs, advanced glycation end products. These AGEs cloud the lens, stiffen the retina, irritate tissues, and reduce the ability of your eyes to focus light sharply. In simple terms, glycation is like a slow fog rolling into your vision every night. Papaya contains one of nature's only enzymes capable of breaking down these sticky AGEs. The enzyme is called papain. It also contains vitamins A, C, E, folate, flavonoids, and natural anti-inflammatories that directly support nighttime repair. A clinical study published in 2023 showed that older adults who ate papaya before bed had lower glycation markers, improved tear film stability, reduced morning dryness, and better contrast sensitivity within 6 weeks. So why before bed? Because the retina repairs itself while you sleep. But it can only repair if the nutrients arrive at the right time. Eating papaya an hour before bed delivers antioxidants exactly when retinal cells begin their nightly healing cycle. This was the final breakthrough in Linda's story. After discovering the research and talking to nutrition specialists, she began a nightly routine. 1 cup of ripe papaya, room temperature, with a few drops of fresh lime juice to increase absorption. No dairy, no cold fruit, no skipping days. And slowly, her mornings changed. The fog began to lift. The letters on her medication bottle became clearer. The colors in her reflection looked brighter. And for the first time in months, she felt hope. This is where her story intersects with thousands of others who have tried the same routine after age 60. But papaya is just the start. There are other fruits that support different parts of the eye's nighttime repair cycle. Kiwi improves night vision. Watermelon increases hydration and oxygen flow. Black currants reduce inflammation in the retina. Blueberries help repair DNA damage in photoreceptor cells. Dragon fruit increases oxygenation during deep sleep. Goji berries strengthen the macula, the center of your vision. When used correctly, these foods create a powerful, natural system supporting eye health as you age. But tonight, we focus on papaya because it addresses the most dangerous, most overlooked, most destructive process affecting aging eyes: glycation. Glycation is not something you feel. It is not something your doctor usually tests. It is not something you notice right away. But one morning, you wake up, and the world is just slightly more out of focus. Imagine reversing that. Imagine waking up and realizing your eyes feel moist, clear, sharp. Imagine reading a menu again without asking for more light. Imagine recognizing faces across the room with confidence. Imagine driving at night without fear of blinding glare. That is why this fruit matters. That is why timing matters. And that is why hundreds of thousands of older adults are now turning to simple nighttime nutrition instead of relying on glasses that only mask the symptoms. Your vision is not gone. Your vision is not doomed. Your vision is not something you simply surrender to age. Your eyes are desperate for support at the exact time of day most people ignore: the night. So tonight, I want you to ask yourself a question. If your vision became clearer tomorrow morning, what would that mean for your life? Would it mean independence, confidence, comfort, the ability to see the people you love more clearly, or simply the relief of waking up without fear? Your answer to that question is why this video matters. Your eyesight is worth fighting for, your clarity is worth protecting, and your future self will thank you for the choices you begin tonight. Try the papaya routine. 1 cup, ripe, room temperature, 1 hour before bed, no dairy. Give it time. Give your eyes what they have been begging for. Your vision is not just about sight. It is about freedom. It is about safety. It is about connection. And it is never too late to give your eyes the chance to heal. If you found this message valuable, if you learned something new, if this opened your eyes to something no one has ever told you before, stay with this channel. I share weekly videos about eye health, natural remedies, aging well, and restoring clarity in ways most people never hear from traditional sources. And now I want to hear from you. What is the first thing you would look at if your vision became clearer tomorrow morning? Tell me in the comments. I read everyone. Your eyes matter. Your clarity matters. And tonight, you may have just taken the first step toward a brighter, sharper, more confident tomorrow.